Okay. Hello, welcome to Human Sexuality, Psych 30, section 30642. And I understand I'm speaking to students at Manteca High School. And so it's no different than my other classes. I'll let you know. Might be different for you, but for me, nothing changes really. Um, okay, so this video is to let you know how the class works, what you got to be, what's expected of you, how to get your assignments, the book, all of that. You guys have some special conditions about the book, but it's worked out of my hands. All right, so my name is Billy Holpen. I'm the professor. I've been teaching this class now for around 6, 7 years, I guess. So um, I have a pretty good understanding of it. And I really hope you enjoy it. Like, this is a great opportunity for you to learn about yourself, about the world around you, your culture, to look at the different ways people view you, your culture, your sexuality, learning about it and being comfortable with your sexuality. Sorry. The the issues of working at home. Hopefully, somebody came to the door and he doesn't like that. Anyway, uh, so I'm going to walk you through how this works. And I'm going to start by going into Canvas and I'm going to share my page. All right, sorry about that. At any rate, okay, so this class is totally online, which means it's a lot of your responsibility to get things done, to maintain your own schedules. I'm available to help. I am available for questions. But you need to submit your assignments and do all that stuff on schedule. So I'm going to start by sharing the screen with Canvas. And so basically, I am in the student view. So this is what your page should look like when you come here, right? I will send you, so the class starts next Monday, the 22nd, but I make it available. I'll make it available as soon as Wednesday probably is when this, as soon as the video is processed, then I can post it and all that. Okay. So the class will be available Wednesday. On Wednesday, you should get a welcome letter, which hopefully had the link that got you to the video. And so if you're here, hopefully you're here right now and everything worked out. Okay, so this is Canvas, and I don't know if you've ever been in Canvas before, if you used it before, but if not, basically this is where the class is, right? The whole class is here, and this is your home page. Human Sexuality, Psych 30, 30642. And this is me and my road dog. And here's a little bit about the class, a little bit about me. Like I said, the class is a great opportunity. And then here are some buttons, right? So this link for the welcome video, the link isn't there yet because this is the welcome video, but when I finish it, it will be. But this is also the link for the syllabus, right? Which is really what we're going to go through here for the most part. All right, the syllabus is also located in the modules. There's a syllabus, research paper, etc. module, and I've yet to decide about the research paper, but if I do decide that you need to do one, you'll have to know well in advance. At any rate, here's another link to the syllabus. All right, so and this is basically the outline for the class, right? So Psych 30, this section 30642, spring 2024. This is me, and this is how you contact me. This is my email address, right? I also do office hours, Mondays, 9 to 10 in the morning. I'm assuming you're in class, but so I'm always willing to meet on by appointing, we can meet by appointment. If you need to meet with me, I'll do a Zoom meeting by appointment, and I'm very flexible and very available. So, okay. This is the link actually to my office hours. So if you want to meet with me at 9 o'clock on a Monday, by any chance, you let me know. And I will meet you at this link right here. And there's the passcode and everything that you need. This is your invitation to the office hours. But like I said, I'm assuming most of you in class, and so I would be happy to arrange another time. This is the textbook we're going to be using, and I know you guys, you get your textbook through the school, talk to whoever it is, but it's a totally electronic textbook. Doesn't, I mean, I guess you can buy a hard copy if you'd like, but this book is all online. All the assignments are online, the exams, everything. And you will get your thing. All right, so you click here, and this will walk you through how to get the book. You'll be provided with a code, and then this will have to show you how to get the book. Okay. So close this. And we'll go back here. So that's the link. Here's the same link. It'll take you to the same page for another way. Now, this is the support. So if there's a problem with the book, if you're having a problem with the book, I'm not the person to ask. I tell everybody this every semester, yet I get a question telling me I can't access the book. These are the people you need to talk to, the McGraw-Hill, the publisher's support side. I can't help you. I have no control over that, your access or any of that kind of stuff. Okay. So if you need help, talk to that. If you didn't get a code, you can talk to me. But if you need, once you get the book and you need help with it, these are the people to talk to. Okay. Here's the conditions of the class, which is a little bit different. You're in the class, so you've obviously made all the prerequisite conditions, right? And we're going to cover human sexuality in as many areas, right? So the biological, the psychological, the social, the cultural, physiological, all of those things. We're going to be talking about some topics that, are typically not talked about. So, to get you comfortable with your sexuality and the thought of your sexuality, hopefully. These are the objectives for the class. All this stuff was in the catalog. You can read this as you will. I'm not going to read it to you. You all know how to read. This, yeah, I'm sure you can access it too. You're taking one of our classes. This is just a site with all the help for students doing online classes. So the technology, the help with Canvas, the books, counseling, any of these items, right? Much of this you get at your high school, but some of it you might want from us, right? And then here's a library, access to our library, right? Okay. So just some student support stuff. So we have, right, obviously every week there's an assignment. It's basically a chapter a week. 1 week, there's 2 chapters. But that's during spring break, so you actually get 2 weeks to do it. And I'll show you that in a minute. But every chapter has some readings, which is basically with a smart book. It's called the smart book. You read it, you get 5 points. And each chapter has a quiz worth 10 points, right? So, and then that's 150 points, 75 for the smart book. And then we have 2 exams, each worth 100 points. So 200 points. So the total for the class then, right, is 425 possible points. So we do this. So I want you to know there's no makeup exams, there's no makeup work. I told you you're responsible to be on your own schedule. If for some reason you foresee something happening that's going to keep you from getting an assignment done, you need to reach out to me before the due date. Don't reach out to me. All the assignments are due Friday by midnight, right? We'll talk about this more in a minute. Don't email me on Saturday telling me you couldn't get it done. And I'll explain why in a few minutes, okay? Um, at any rate, I don't do makeup exams. If you're in the hospital or something, then that's a different story, but there's got to be a real crisis, okay? I do extra credit. There's five classes through the library about research, plagiarism. It's how to use the library, etc. You can take those. Each one you take is a certificate, and I will um, give you 10 points for every certificate. And that link takes you to the schedule. So here it is, right? We have plagiarism on the first day of class, unfortunately. Orientation, a couple of orientation, right? So they repeat themselves. You have till May to get them done, but if you think you're going to want extra credit, you might want to get them started sooner because by May, you're only going to be able to get 10 or 20 points. There's also 20 points of extra credit available even when you do the pre-test, when you finish the post-test. So we have a pre-test trying to determine how much you know before the class, and then obviously a post-test that is determine how much you learn during the class process. If you do both of those when you complete the post-test, you'll get 20 points. You don't get anything if you just do the pre-test. Okay. So here's a breakdown, right? A, B, I don't do plus or minus. So it's A, B, C, D. Here's the breakdown of the scores. You need this many points, right? So it's a total of 425 is the perfect score. All right. So here's the assignments. And this is why I say I do not accept late assignments because your assignments open on Sunday. So you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to complete them 6 days. If you choose to wait till Friday night at 10 o'clock and your computer crashes, that's your problem, not mine. You gambled and you lost, right? But you've had ample opportunity to complete the assignment. So, as I said, don't email me on Saturdays asking for an extension because you had to work overtime on Friday, or the basketball game went into overtime, or whatever your excuse is. Tell me what happened the other 5 days that kept you from doing it for a week, right? So that's why there's no late assignments, and it's on you to get it done. So this first week, you review the syllabus. There's a learning contract we want you to sign, and you can do the pre-test. Also do chapter 1, okay? Then, and as I said, opens on Sundays and closes Friday at midnight. Every week is the same. And every week is a chapter. We read the chapter, you take the quiz. Read the chapter, take the quiz. Here, I gotta fix that. That date is wrong. That date should say. Oh no, that's right. 3/15. I'm sorry. That's not right. I did fix it. All right. So as I said, you have 2 weeks here. You have two chapters here, but you get to 2 weeks to do it because one of those weeks is spring break. So, okay. And then when we come back, you're going to have your first exam for chapters 1 through 8. 100 questions, all multiple choice, true or false, and it's all automated inside your assignments, and we'll get to that in a second. Then we continue the same way until the end of the class, and last week, finals week, you have your second exam. I don't do a cumulative final. It's just your second exam on chapters 9 through 15. Okay. These are drop dates. So you might want to be familiar with these. And if you're going to end up dropping, please let us know. Okay. This class is a little shortened, so these are your only opportunities right here. Okay. The rest of this you can read for yourself. You know, if you don't complete assignments for 2 weeks, I'll pretty much reach out to your counselor to let them know you're not participating. You see if there's a problem. Everything goes through you. So somebody will talk to you about that or reach out to you. Okay, but if you miss too many assignments, then you drop from the class. I typically drop you from the class anyway, or you need to drop yourself. Okay, so assignments, you can go through here, the assignment page. See, here they are. Here's your pre-test. It's not, I can show you in my view. Let's see, I can leave the student view and you go and do the pre-test. Sorry. And then it's going to look like this, right? The choice, true or false, 10 questions. And then it's the same test at the end, the post-test. We want to see if you get a higher score, right? All your other assignments are in here. Your QuickBooks, your chapter, right? I can't get to these because I haven't even registered for the class and I haven't opened my book yet either. So, but at any rate, you'll see once you get connected to the book, you can use this to get to all the assignments. And I'm not quite sure. So my view, it's like this, right? And I can go to my section. And then here's all the assignments. I'm not sure what you, okay. At any rate, if you have a problem, reach out to McGraw-Hill if you have the book, right? Like I said, they're the people to talk to and help you. The other thing that's important to know is there's a notification process. Sign up for the notifications because all the information, all the any updates to the class, any information about the research project, etc., will come out as an announcement. And that way you get notified when there is an announcement. There isn't any yet, but there'll be one by the time you see this video. And it'll basically just be a welcome announcement. Here's the modules. So besides the reading is this, here's the way this, like I said, you can get to the syllabus. A little blurb about me and the welcome letter will be here. There are also PowerPoints for every chapter. You can look at the PowerPoints. You're not going to pass the class just with doing the PowerPoints. You need to do the reading too. I mean, this is bullet point information and it's good, but it's not going to get you through the class. Okay. So, just so you know, but every chapter has one. If you want a refresher right before exams, maybe this will help you out quicker. But like I said, you can't do the class without reading. And then you will find all your grades here. And I'm going to jump out of that real quick because you don't need to know who else is here. Here's some online tutoring options if you need them. This is a schedule. And there's ours. And so here you go, Psych 30. Right here. Here's some options. Erica will be doing it on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And these are your times, right? So down in the asterisk is, okay. This is live at the college, but there's some online tutoring options also with NetTutor. Okay. You can go to the tutoring center. You don't have to sign up for this. Okay, but there is some online options also. And if you go talk to the tutoring center, they have some online options too. You just need to go to the tutoring center itself, not just the schedule. Okay. So if you no, I don't. I guess I should have followed up on it. Anyway, I think that's about it. Um, like I said, this once we get to the home page, you can access the stuff through the buttons or through the modules. All of it will be there. All the links will be there when I'm finished processing the video. So, welcome to the class. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn a lot about humans in general, but specifically maybe about yourself. You can grow more comfortable with your sexuality and the ability to feel free to express it. Um, and so, as I said, I'm always available. My email, reach out to me by email. I'll set up meetings, whatever it is we need to do. I want to make sure you get the most out of this class. So please utilize me. Okay, use me. All right. So I think that should about cover it. I don't know. I think I got everything in there that I need to get in there. And oh, like I said, welcome and let's have a good semester. All right. Thank you.